When most people think of the ingredients in bourbon, the first thing that comes to mind is corn. And while the grain is certainly an essential part of the equation, there's another ingredient that may be even more important, yet most people aren't even aware of it: yeast. In the world of bourbon, yeast is used to convert the sugars in the mash, primarily glucose, maltose, and maltotriose, into alcohol and carbon dioxide through a process called fermentation. It's actually the yeast that breaks down the sugars, not the bacteria. During this process, yeast breaks down the sugars via a metabolic pathway called glycolysis into a substance called pyruvate. Under the low oxygen conditions found in the depths of a fermenting beer, the pyruvate is then transformed into ethanol and carbon dioxide. This creates the distiller's beer that will be distilled a few weeks later into what we ultimately know as bourbon. But beyond just producing alcohol, yeast is also responsible for many of the flavors that make each bourbon unique. Different strains of the same species of yeast, Saccharomyces cerevisiae, will generate a range of secondary compounds during fermentation. These include esters that bring fruity and floral notes like banana, apple, pear, pineapple, higher alcohols that add body and spice, as well as organic acids that provide balance and a little bit of tartness. Some strains of yeast can also produce subtle sulfur compounds that bring earthy complexity. Because these various flavor compounds are produced by different strains of yeast, distilleries often protect their yeast strains as trade secrets. Some, like Four Roses, use multiple strains to craft distinct fruit, spice, or floral characteristics into their bourbons. Other distilleries use a single strain to maintain consistency from batch to batch. In addition to the type of yeast used, the temperature at which fermentation takes place is also important. Yeast, like all living things, has an optimal temperature range in which it does its work. For most strains of S. cerevisiae used in bourbon, this is between about 77 to 95 degrees Fahrenheit, or 25 to 35 degrees Celsius. Cooler fermentations, say between 65 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit, will generally produce a cleaner, more neutral flavor profile with fewer esters. This can result in a bourbon that's more delicate and refined, but also less full-bodied and less overtly fruity or spicy. On the other end of the spectrum, warmer ranges, say 85 to 95 degrees Fahrenheit, will encourage more fruit and spice character, but can also run the risk of producing unwanted off-flavors if not carefully managed. Too much heat, above 100 degrees Fahrenheit, will stress or kill the yeast. Cooler temperatures, below 60 degrees Fahrenheit, will slow down or stop the yeast, causing fermentation to stall or even reverse. So the next time you pour yourself a glass of bourbon, take a moment to appreciate the role that yeast plays in creating the spirit's distinctive aroma, mouthfeel, and flavor complexity. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to the Bourbon Legends channel, and we'll see you in the next one.